All right, boys, we're here at Sunrise Ford today, filming a podcast. We're going to talk about your upcoming event with both you guys on it. Mejalee fighting for the title. Jason Jones coming back. But excited to be here. Shout out to Sunrise Ford. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Two different sounds, I guess. Two different rings.
We're both coming back. We're both coming back, bro.
Both coming back, man. He is fighting for a title. You are coming back. But thank you, Sunrise Ford, for having us here. Mejalee, they're actually one of your sponsors. Love the hospitality. You have anything to say about, Sunrise Ford? Or?
Yeah, you guys, all you fighters, come down here. Come buy a car. Come down to Sunrise Ford.
Use code Mejalee when you purchase the car.
Use code Mejalee. Tell them Mejalee sent you. So come over to Sunrise Ford, guys.
All right, well, let's talk about you guys real quick first. How's training going? You guys excited?
Yeah, I'm excited. I feel good. I feel in really good shape right now.
I don't know if you guys see the shirt either, but thanks for the shirt. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Actually, we paid for it, I think, but thanks anyways.
I didn't make any money from it, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then training's been going well for me. I feel, really conditioned. Just getting the weight off these last couple weeks. But man, I feel great. This is the best I've ever felt.
Hell yeah. Well, I can't wait. Well, today we're going to play a little game. You guys are going to predict some of the fights. $100 is on the line. But it's not for who gets all the picks right. It's for whoever gets as many picks the same as John. John's here. John's Mejalee's coach, and he's a little crazy. But we want to see, who thinks the same as John. So we'll get into it. First fight we'll talk about is Anthony Romero versus Yuma Horiuchi. For the bantamweight title, Romero has fought, been our champ for a long time, defended his title. Just a great fighter. Horiuchi comes from Timo Yama, also a beast. Ooh. Doesn't take a step back. We talked to Romero about it. He's excited that someone's going to meet him in the middle and kind of just fight with him. What do you guys think about that one?
You want me to actually circle it, or?
Well, no, you guys can circle who you think's going to win. Don't show that yet, but what do you guys think about the fight? Is there any 2 cents on the fight?
Yeah, so I know Romero's been a champ for a while, man. Underdog always gets a bet, but man, I know he's tough. He's tough as heck. Like I said, I'm a fan of a lot of these UNF fighters. Oh, sorry about that.
You're good.
I'm a fan of a lot of these UNF fighters. And Romero's definitely one of those guys. So I think it's gonna be a tough fight, but man, yeah, Romero's tough.
Yeah, I looked at when they announced this fight. I looked at Horiuchi's Tapology. I know he has some fights in Japan, and now he's at Oyama. But I feel like trajectory matters and your direction. And I feel like Anthony Romero's still young, and he's coming into his peak, and he's looking for the doorsteps to the UFC. So I think he's really good. And from what I saw, that Horiuchi has a good record. He's fought in Japan, so he's tested, and if he's down to scrap, then he's down to scrap. So it's going to be a good fight.
All right, now show the cameras who you guys picked to win.
So this is who I think John would pick as well.
You can't do that though. You can't just choose off. No, you think John's gonna pick.
There's some sort of eye coordination going on in the background. Got Anthony Romero circled.
I got Anthony Romero too. I think it's gonna be a crazy fight. You know what I mean? No disrespect to the other guy, but yeah, I think Romero's tested. So I'm going Romero for this fight.
You both think Romero's gonna retain the title?
I think so.
And John also picked Anthony Romero, so that's no fun. We're just all even right now.
All right.
Well, this next fight is a fight I'm probably most excited for on the card, to be honest. We'll touch back on it. But Rawston defending his title versus Mejalee. Mejalee, before this, your last fight with us, you were the champ. You were holding the title. But now you're back, going down one weight class, going for another title. What does it mean for you to be able to, try to pick up another title and just making your return to the UNF cage?
Oh man, it means everything. I mean, Rawston's is a tough dude, so I want to, get in there and test myself against guys who've been in there, with tough guys. I think his last fight surprised us all. So man, to be able to return against somebody that's legit like that is, it means a lot for my career. So this is everything, and it's at a new weight class. So, man, yeah, this is it's great to be back. Great to be back.
I'm just curious, what surprised you about his performance? Do you not think he was gonna win that fight?
Well, no, I'm honestly I didn't know who was gonna win. I think that honestly Dighero was. I thought he, had a little bit more experience than Rawston from what I saw. So I thought that experience would, make a difference. But no, Rawston just kept coming forward. He got Dighero tired. We've never really seen Dighero tired like that. I know he had a bad weight cut, and only fighters can understand. But the way Rawston just put pressure on him, I think that surprised us all. So.
Well, I know I'm excited for you to make that fight again, and then the whole UNF, fans, everyone is. Jason, what do you think about the matchup?
I think it's a great matchup. Obviously me and Mejalee been homies for a long time, trained together. I know how good Mejalee is, and then obviously I fought Dighero, And then Reddick fought Dighero his last fight, and you know, I think I was surprised by his what appeared to be his strength, you know, with the grappling. Because, you know, I fought Dighero. He's a little ball. He's tough, you know. And I've trained with Dighero too, and Diego's his grappling is strong, you know. And right now he just won last night. He beat Gregor, so he's like 5-1 now. So that's a quality win, and that's a tough win, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's a battle of black athletics here, and
So there's gonna be.
yeah. So it's two dudes who are very athletic and very strong, and I think it's gonna work out great.
Yeah, I can't wait for that fight. All right, Mejalee, we're gonna have you come right back on, but let's get John. If you could come on real quick, just give me your mic, and then we'll get you right back on. For people who don't know you yet, talk about your relationship with Mejalee. How the training sessions go, how training is coming up, leading up to this fight.
So, should I look at better, look at camera, or to?
Yeah, you look at me and the camera if you want to say something like
So, I'm Mejalee's Muay Thai coach. So we've been training together 5 years. Met Mejalee in Hesperia. A friend of mine kind of put us in touch, and I walked in. First time I saw him, I just knew he had a ton of talent, and like most importantly, I he had it up here. And like talking to him, I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, dude, come train with me. Like we're gonna torch some people. And he's like, all right. You know what I mean? And I just put him through the ringer, and he actually stayed around. So but I only teach Muay Thai. That's all I can take credit for. He's got a lot of other coaches that help with a lot of different things, but yeah, that's what I do. So.
Yeah. Well, we've talked offline a little bit, and sounds like the training sessions are a little. They're not easy, to say the least. So what is your coaching style like? When you are training with Mejalee, getting him ready for a big fight coming up, for him to get his second belt, what is that energy like? What is the training like?
So our training style has evolved over the last 5 years. So the first couple years, I was just trying to break him, honestly. Every training session, I was like, dude, I want to see if this dude shows up again. You know what I mean? And it all had a purpose. There's a lot of stuff we did in Thailand over the years, which is brutal. And I only want to train fighters, so I really just put him through the meat grinder. I mean, we're running in the snow, running when it's cold. Mejalee hates the cold, you know what I mean? So I did more of the running in the cold just to see if he would quit.
Nice.
But as it's evolved,
Very
and
nice.
I would say that he's really like, he's won. I don't want to be paid. He pays me in wins. That's how I want to be paid. And now that he's paid his dude, I really try to like evolve as a coach and take his input. I have my style, and I try to like. Mejalee likes certain things, and I'm like, hey, what do you like? So now I'm really trying to, I think as me as a coach, it's my job to get better too. So kind of evolving is I really try to get his input more, try to also understand when he's like maybe fatigued a little more before I just meat grinder him, but I think he's kind of earned the right to have input, and that's definitely not my style. So I'm having to swallow my coaching pride a bit and learn to do that.
Well, so it sounds like you guys have a good partnership when it comes to the coach, student life. All right. What about this specific fight? What's your prediction for this fight? How do you see this fight going?
So I know I got a lot of respect for Rawston. I think, he's the champ. He's the champ for the reason. I think it's going to be a war. I expect it definitely to go all 3 rounds. I think ultimately Mejalee's going to prevail. I think Rawston is in great shape. I think he's a dog. I think he's obviously took the fight. I think Mejalee's a super dangerous opponent.
Yeah.
I think it's Rawston's probably most dangerous fight.
Agreed.
I think on the skill side, I'm partial and biased to Mejalee. I think Mejalee has him on the skill, and I ultimately think it's going to come down to who wants it more. I know they both really, really want it, and I think it's going to come to what's in here. But fighter to fighter, I think skill-wise, I got to go with my boy Mejalee. But Rawston's a dog, and we down at our team, we're training our ass off because we got all the respect in the world for him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait.
Yep.
Well, I know who you're predicting for this fight, but we'll get Mejalee back on here. But
All right.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Of course, man. You're gonna be back on here in a second too.
Nope.
All right, Jason, your prediction for this fight?
I put I forgot to put with at first. I put I'm gay, but if you look here, there's an arrow. I'm with gay, not gay. I'm with gay. So
Now he put that on. He put that on purpose. He's speaking his mind.
We're with gay. All right, and then Mejalee, let's just show the camera who you think is gonna win the fight, which I think we know.
Bam.
All right, guys, and
Champ for a reason.
John chose Rawston to win this fight.
Of course he did.
I'm just kidding.
Of course,
No,
he
I'm
did.
just kidding.
Of course he did.
So John also went with Mejalee. So no one's close to winning the $100 yet, but no one's far either. We're right there. All right, so next fight we'll get into. Actually, you're looking at it. Go ahead and talk about. You could just start talking about this fight if you want.
So we got for the Rising Stars Welterweight Championship, Anthony Vardumian. Assuming he's from Glendale or Burbank, one of those two. But he's going up against a tough motherfucker. I don't know if I can cuss, but he's going up against a tough guy.
You could cuss.
He's going up against the Malibu Gangster. When you go to Malibu, you check in with him. They made a movie about him, actually. Axel Conrad. Look right here. Look at his face. Look at that head shape. That's the head shape of a true gangster. So they're going to go toe-to-toe for the welterweight championship. A lot of people may say that Axel doesn't deserve it. But at the end of the day, Axel, he hasn't really turned down anybody. He kind of goes in there and scraps, and sometimes he might miss weight, sometimes he might hurt his back. There's many different things, but he's down to go out there and scrap, and you have to respect that.
Yeah,
So,
I want to talk about a point because I think people are going to talk about it, and Axel on paper definitely right now doesn't necessarily deserve a title shot. But when you have two guys that they do have a little bad blood, they've had kind of beef, and they are both dying to fight each other. Fans do want to see it. At the same time, I think some fans are like, Axel doesn't deserve it, but a lot of people want to see it at the same time. How do you guys feel about, this match being made to say? I know why we made it, but I'm just curious from your guys' point of view, like, how do you feel about it? You think it's like a no-go, or if two guys want to fight each other, it kind of makes sense, you just go with it?
I mean, he's asking for it. He's asked for it repeatedly. The thing with Axel, too, is like, he'll fight you in the cage, or he might try and fight you in the locker room, or he might try and fight you in the parking lot. Even if there's 30 Armenians trying to fight him, he still might make the decision to fight you, which I probably wouldn't do the same.
I don't think I would make that decision either, to be
Malibu
honest.
gangster in him, though.
Records aside.
That's why they wrote movies about this guy.
Yeah. Records aside, if you look at Axel's past opponents that he's lost to, their combined record is good. It's like 15-1 or something. So, even if he is losing,
This guy knows his shit.
he's still fighting quality opponents. So I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I want to see the fight.
We got the Jason Jones approval on the fight, so that's all I needed to hear. But Mejalee, what do you think about the matchup?
I think that both of these guys are tough. I don't think you should look at records when we look at
I love that too.
deciding if somebody deserves a title shot or not. At the end of the day, like you said, both these guys are dying to fight each other. It's going to be a high-level match. Regardless of the beef with Axel, you got to give credit where it's due. Yeah, this dude steps in against anybody. He's not scared of anybody, and that's all you could ask, for in a fighter. So I think he deserves a title shot. I think it's going to be one of the more exciting fights. So yeah, I think hell yeah, I think he deserves it. I think he's a tough dude. So I'm excited for this fight as well.
Okay, I'm excited for it too, and I think sometimes. All right, you know what? Feel free to circle who you think's gonna win and show the camera.
All right, so I might be in a stark contrast to what you think I would pick, but I've chosen Axel Conrad to win this fight.
And
I'm not even gonna ask what you drew on there. That's fine.
It's a hot dog.
I think I think Anthony's gonna win. I think he's gonna wrestle him. I don't think. I think his wrestling's gonna pull through on this one. I don't know if they're gonna strike too much.
Okay.
So yeah, I have Anthony winning this fight.
All right, so where you guys are, or let's see who
split
John
this
picked.
one.
Yeah,
We're
we split
split. So
this
let's
one.
see who John picked.
All right, John went with Anthony Vardumian to win this fight.
Ooh.
All right, so John, you're down 1 point right now. It's all good though. You have some time to make it back.
Damn it.
What are you gonna? If you do win the $100, what are you gonna buy with the $100?
Wait, no, I'm up one. I picked Anthony.
Oh,
You
you're
picked-
right. Sorry. Majalee's up 1.
Yeah.
So Mejalee, what are you gonna buy with the $100 if you win it?
I don't know. That's a good question. Those smash burgers look really good that were at Media Day, man. I would really want one of those, but I don't know.
We
That's
know
okay.
a guy. We'll get you those for free,
Yeah.
but you can figure out what you want to buy with the $100 later. All right, so next fight we'll talk about Jesse Strader versus Cisco Rivera. This could be a rematch. Their first fight was a no contest. Cisco, legend in the game. Jesse's been around a little while. He's been to the UFC, on his way back there now. But I'm really excited for this one. I'm a big fan of both of the guys. What do you guys think about that matchup?
So I know Jesse. It's funny. He trains out of where Rawston trains out of. So I know that they're teammates as well. But he's good. I've watched a couple of his fights. Obviously, any of the as we call them, like UFC bounce backs. These dudes are literally fighting for their lives to get back to the big show. So I think he's gonna come with like a different level of intensity. I think Cisco's really good too. I just think that maybe he's a little bit past his prime. So yeah, I would have Jesse, kind of winning this fight. But I think it's still going to be this once again. This whole card is crazy, but this is a high level matchup too. I'm honored that I get to watch these two pros, go at it. Dudes with all this experience. So, but I think Jesse's a little hungry right now. He wants to get back to that show. So, even though he's from the opposite gym, I probably have him winning this one.
Yeah, I think with these two, it's like when you go in there and there's these like veterans, especially, they're bouncing back, they're maybe fighting on regional promotions. They're always at the head of the card. They've been to the big shows. So they kind of have things like more dialed down than most other fighters. So it usually comes down to where do you feel like you want to be in your career? Or do you feel like you're winding down your career, or do you feel like you want to advance? Do you feel like you want to make it back to the big show? Or do you feel like, like, all right, like I'm going to take these tough fights just to test myself, but I don't have these aspirations maybe to still be a UFC champion or make my way to the UFC. So it kind of depends on where they're at and how they're feeling. I know that Cisco's older. I think Jesse Strader kind of got to the UFC at a young age and early into his career.
I think he was like only 4-0 when he got the call or something like that. So that's very early in his career. Well, what's it like for you guys? I mean, you guys can circle who you think is going to win, but you guys are early in your careers. I mean, you guys are taking this serious. But what's it like to be on the card with ex-UFC guys? Cisco's been in the top 15 in the bantamweight division before. What's it like to be on the card with those guys as you guys are, on the come up in your careers?
I think that just like sets the standard. You know what I mean? It lets us know that we're in good company. We're at the right place at the right time. That's good. With those types of names, and the promotions that have been behind them, I know that there's eyes all on UNF. So I'm actually thankful for it that, there's big names like this that are coming to fight. It only helps me. So
hell yeah.
Like, heck yeah. Like the more they fight, I want to fight on all the cards that they're on. So it helps us. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I guess I feel the same way. I mean, you also get to see things and you get to, I guess, when people have been in those positions, they kind of lead by example. So you get to see the way they operate in the locker room before the fights.
Right.
You get to see the way they fight, the way they present themselves. You kind of get to gather knowledge that you can take home that might not be exactly from the way they fight, but maybe from the way they warm up, maybe from the way they're training. So it's more valuable than you would think when you look at the broad spectrum of everything.
For sure. All right, guys, show the camera who you picked for that one.
Got Jesse on this one.
I also picked Jesse, so it's like we're only split by one again.
Yeah, well, John also picked Jesse, so there we go.
I could read John's mind. So
That's why I told my dad. I was like, Mejalee and John are probably got the same picks. All right, well, let's get into the next one then, boys. Sevak Akopian versus Jaheed Parker for the Who's Up Next championship belt. I'm actually really excited for this one. They were supposed to fight, I think, like 2 or 3 times already.
Yeah.
It just fell through multiple times. But Sevak was down for the fight. Jaheed hit me up. He said he really wanted this fight, so we made it happen. Both 2 top guys, again, for the Rising Stars of the amateur division. 2 lanky guys, I think 2 strikers. I don't know, I'm just excited for that one. You guys both have trained with Jaheed, or?
I train with Jaheed all the time because I'll go spar at Millennia. He's from Millennia, and he'll come in on Sundays because we're kind of like sister gyms, so we kind of cross-train with each other a lot. So a lot of the guys from Millennia will come to OG or we'll go to Millennia. So Jaheed's like one of my main sparring partners, especially over the past like year. So we've been training a lot together. So I'm real familiar with Jaheed, and then obviously I fought Sevak. That's my only claim to fame, and he's bounced back now, and he's 5-1 ever since we fought. So
yeah, no, he's been on the tear, but I mean, it wasn't just a claim. It was a viral knockout. That fight, you walked out to Armenian music to a crowd of 500 Armenians, screaming against you. Just want to dive into you as a fighter. What made you do that?
I asked Georgie. I mean, he told me what a famous Armenian song is because my coach is Armenian, obviously. So I just thought it would be silly, and I thought it would be kind of like just something to go out to that's kind of like catch him off guard. Like, oh, what the hell? Like, why is he walking out to this?
Shock value right there.
And but I have all the respect in the world for Sevak. He's a cool dude, and he gets in there and fights all the time, and he's young. So he's young and he's getting after it, and every fight he has, he's tough and he's coming forward every fight. So I have a lot of respect for him.
I have one more question on this fight for you, and then we'll let Mejalee talk about it. But Sevak's he's only lost to you, right?
Yeah.
I think he's 5-1 now. If you guys both win, would you want to rematch for the Who's Up Next belt? Would you want to rematch Sevak? Would you even care to?
I'll do it for a belt. I'll do anything for a belt, really. I mean,
well, listen, we're just talking about action, but he fights the toughest guys. He's game. He's gangster. I think you go out there and have a good performance. There's a storyline there, and you've also fought all the fucking tough guys. So I don't know. So that's good to know because I think we'd maybe want to do that if both you guys get W's in the next fight.
You down? Fuck it.
All right, okay. All right, Mejalee, what do you think about this matchup?
So obviously I was at that fight, the Sevak fight. That's all that I've really seen of him. I do know he's tough. I know he comes from a tough team. I don't really know much about Jaheed either. We haven't trained together, but obviously we've trained, with people that have, train through each other, but I've never actually trained with him. This one, I'm kind of like up in the air. I have no idea how it's gonna end. I just know both these dudes are gonna come out. They're gonna be tough. So, but I really have no idea.
All right, well,
This
you
one, I'm
have
up
10
in the-
seconds to pick someone, then
Yeah,
we're gonna
let's-
show the winner.
Let me see. Let me read John's mind. All right.
All right, boys, go ahead and show the camera. Let's see who you guys got winning.
I got my boy Jamal Hill. Jaheed Parker. That's my boy. I feel like he's got really clean striking. I feel like he's progressed a lot, and I feel like he's ready, and I think he's gonna win. He's got a good record too. Sevak's got a good record. It's a great test.
I'm just going with Jaheed because his hair. I don't know what else to really go off of. I don't know these guys. I just know they're tough as hell. This is gonna be a great fight, but yeah, I think he has cool hair, so I'm going with him.
Listen, always pick a winner by the hair. That's always
Right.
great. All right, well, John went Sevak a copian on this one, so no one,
Dang,
Mejalee still
really?
up one.
Dang. Okay.
All right, let's get to the next fight. I'm actually really excited for this fight. Roland versus Elijah Duke. Elijah Duke, former Rising Stars champ. Roland's been around the UNF cage for a while, has some great wins, tough losses in title fights, but definitely one of the top guys out there. These guys were both at Content Day, both agreed to fight each other when I wasn't there. So we ended up making that fight because they're both, they're in person with each other, want to fight each other, made it happen. I'm sure you guys are pretty familiar with both of these guys. Yeah.
Yeah, what's crazy is Elijah Duke, I thought he was like 19. This fool was like 32 years old, bro. Maybe not 32, but somewhere around that age. Don't crack.
Black don't crack, baby.
Don't crack.
Looks young, yeah. You'd be surprised. That's hilarious. Yeah, no, I think this fight's gonna be highly competitive. I watched Elijah Duke fight. I think it was the same night that Rawston fought too. So I watched him fight. He's really technical. He gets after it.
Yeah.
His team brings like a lot of excitement. I think like Jason said, this is a match of black athletics, but I think I'm gonna go with Elijah on this one. He's super athletic. He's just super active and stuff. Yeah. But I know Roland's a dog too. I've seen him fight before, and I know he's not scared of shit. So. It'll be a good match, but man, I don't know. I think Elijah's gonna pull through on this one.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's gonna be tough is if he can get past that range, because with Rayshawn is super lanky, so he's a really tall flyweight, and he'll kind of sit there, and if you fight him on the outside, he's just gonna pick you off.
Sorry to cut you off, but did you guys see his fight versus Nathan Hawthorne? Rayshawn's fight?
Oh, yeah.
So that's, I think, the best he's ever looked. Right. I think he was just dialed in. He kept the range, jabs, straight shots, and he looked really good. And we talked about this on the podcast before, but he's also had some title fights where he hasn't stuck to his strengths to say, or the range, gone to the grappling exchanges where he's really good at range. So I really think this is a fight of just who implements the game plan best is going to come out on top, which you could say about every fight. But I think with Rayshawn specifically, if he keeps that range and uses his height to his advantage, it'll be a good
But both of these dudes agreed to fight each other at media day. I don't think people realize that's pretty nuts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my dad
also,
called me.
last
He's
week.
like, hey, just so you know, because I was out of town. I wish I was there. Now I missed everyone that was there, but hey, just so you know, Rayshawn and Elijah Duke want to fight each other. So if you want to make it, I'm like, all right, sounds like a good fight to me.
That's a good
whatever.
fight.
Sounds cool to me, and I'm sure Elijah wants to get his get back. He just lost his last fight to Armenian Bruce Lee, so yeah, I'm sure he's eager to get back, and I feel like he's been pretty active since he started fighting with Up Next. So
no, he hasn't. He wanted to turn. Yeah, he was blowing us up. He wanted to get back on the card. So happy we made this one happen. All right, boys, drum roll and show who you guys think is winning.
I picked Roland just off of height alone, I guess. I think he can keep his range, and I knew Mejalee was gonna pick Duke. I didn't want to just have the same picks all day, so I took a gamble.
Well, I'm going with Duke once again. The hair. I've seen him fight. Yeah, if you have long hair, obviously I'm on your side. So I think I don't know if that's why Jason's voting that way.
Jason, I think it's almost mathematically impossible for you to win the $100 today. But
no, I got it. It was tough. Like,
John chose Elijah Duke, so there we go.
Ooh,
I think
okay.
we got a couple more fights here we'll talk about. So Moises Garibay versus Jaheed Jordan. This is going to be a good fight. Jaheed Jordan just fought on our last card, had an explosive win versus Daryl Westfall. And then Moises Garibay was undefeated, fought for the title versus Attila Errett, showed so much heart and like the dog in him. Came up short, but he got hit with some shots that a lot of people would just go out to and just kept coming forward. Like, it was insane, honestly. It was a great fight. You guys, I think...
Yeah, I trained Moises too. This is also Millennia. So, we've been getting rounds in and...
What are his keys to victory? Tell me how Moises, gets the job done versus Jordan.
Just his fight IQ, and then just being more active with his hands. I feel like that was the biggest problem he had in the Until fight was I think he had trouble letting his hands go, and he's fighting in that B range. He's marching into the cage. He was beating up the leg with calf kicks, but I think he had trouble letting his hands go. And I think now that he's kind of seen how close that fight was to where he could have got victory just off cage control and the way he was kind of setting the his precedent for the fight. I think he's hungry now, and I think he's eager to fix those mistakes. So he's on the right path to come back with a good victory.
Yeah. Mejalee, what about you? What do you? Are you familiar with either guy so much? Are we going to choose them off their hair? Or
Well, for these guys, they both have short hair, so I know a little bit about Moises. I've seen him fight as well. I think that experience-wise, he's definitely going to bring it. But then I watched this other guy fight too. He just fought,
Fought my boy Dighero. Why'd you have to double shotgun blast him, bro?
That was not nice, bro. That was mean. I kind of liked him, but I was like, fuck, I love Dighero. So
I love Dighero, but it was kind of hard. I was like, damn, the double shotgun blast on double barrel, Dighero. But I love Dighero, so it broke my heart.
This fight's going to be highly competitive, but I think Moises has the experience in this fight. So I think it'll be super explosive. I'm excited to see this one.
All right, boys, who we choosing? I think you guys are both going Moises. Is that what it's looking like?
Nope.
I have a question, though.
I'm going
I have a question. No, and so you're going
He's going
Jordan?
Yeah,
I'm going-
I'm giving the underdog. Underdog gets a vote, bro.
I have a question for you after I see this. Okay, so John chose Moses Garibay. So it's 2-1 right now, Mejalee. You're up by 1 fight, yeah? Why are you only drawing circles on them, but actually you drew something else? I'm just curious.
I just had a lapse in thought. I didn't take my creatine this morning, and I was having trouble drawing a full circle. So I drew 2 small ones and then a long oval. And it just somehow that happened, but I don't exactly remember what was going on in my head at that moment.
It's all good. I was just curious.
Some sort of gravitational universal pull to make me draw that.
All right, guys, next fight. You guys' own Jason Jones versus Omar Farag.
Oh, man.
Mejalee, you talk to us first about this fight. What does Jason have to do to get the job done? Do you even think Jason's gonna win? Like, what does Jason have to do to get the
It's
job
going to be a tough fight for Jason.
done? Why are you laughing?
You even think I'm gonna win? You my boy, bro.
No, that's
It's
why I
gonna
get it.
be a tough fight for Jason. Jason needs to just play his game, bro. If he comes out as the hawk, you know what I mean? There's really nobody that can mess with him. He just has to keep that range. I don't think this guy's gonna want to strike with him too much. I don't think there's anybody that really wants to strike with Jason. Obviously, Jason, a couple fights haven't went his way, but as far as standing toe to toe, there's nobody that he wouldn't stand toe to toe with. So
Very true.
I see this guy, shooting and trying to wrestle him. But once he starts putting those paws on him, I think he's gonna have some trouble. So, and I know he's hungry for his get back. So I think it's gonna be a good fight. But I gotta go with my boy on this one. I have to go with my boy on this one.
Yeah,
What's training been like leading up to this fight? We're happy to get you back in the UNF cage. How you feeling just overall going into this one?
I feel good. I think, I took some time off sparring after my last fight. I was just, focused on like jiu-jitsu, getting my grappling better. I mean, I've always been confident with my grappling, but I was just taking my time and just kind of like really focusing on mistakes I was making and making more intentional decisions in my training as far as like sparring and then tailoring my game more towards myself. I feel like in times where I haven't really had any fights where I've been down, Maybe
Very
my
true,
first
yeah.
fight was a really even, like we were scrapping.
That was a sick
But
fight,
any
too.
other fight, it's like I've pretty much always been
The aggressor
either
and
toe to
winning.
toe or up
Yeah.
or leading the dance. So any like small mistakes I made have had big consequences. So for me, it's just tailoring my game towards myself, being smart and making good decisions for myself. And then just conditioning. We're always going to be in good shape at OG. I could go 5-5s, if I wanted to. So I'm not worried about cardio or anything. I'm not worried about wrestling. We could wrestle.
Let's rest.
No one can hold me down. I feel like I could get up on anybody. So I'm just going to play my game.
All right, how do you see yourself winning the fight? You're going for a finish, decision?
Yeah, I
Doesn't matter?
I don't like the idea of going to a decision. I'll let the fight play out how it plays out. If I have to go to a decision, if I can't get the finish, then it's okay. But for me, it's like I like how it feels to put somebody out. And I think if you have that, then you're always gonna go for that finish. But for me, I like the idea of hitting somebody and you see like in their mind like, okay, am I gonna give up right now or am I gonna keep fighting? And I feel like everybody I've hit, I've seen that in their eyes, whether or not it went my way. So That's what you got to feel.
Well, I love that. I think I know who you're picking, but let's bring on our guest analyst for today's episode. John, come on, Gunny.
So who are we talking about? Sorry, who are we talking
Who we talk? I forgot.
No, who are we talking? No,
Oh.
which fighter are we talking about?
Oh, well, you just talk about Jason since he's right in front of you. We can talk about
Who
Jason.
the fuck is that guy?
I don't know. Who is that?
Oh,
He sucks. That's all I know.
yeah. I mean, don't they call him? What is he like? It's like the sparrow or something. He's like the sparrow, or what do they call him?
I don't know. The pigeon. What was it?
Quail.
I gotta go. He's gonna punch me.
I'm not.
He's
Doing,
gonna punch
I'm,
me across
actually,
the
I'm not
table.
doing any more Jason Joe slander.
He's gonna
love
punch
Jason.
me across.
I don't think he sucks.
He's gonna punch me across the table. You know.
All right, Coach. Well, come on. Tell us what you think about this fight.
I mean, at the end of the day, I got some mixed feelings on this fight. You know what I mean? So like
coming?
my first thought is like the Joe Dirt beard. I feel like it's going to create a little friction, like with that left hook. You know what I mean? I'd like to see you shave it, Jason. Maybe shave it a little bit so we can get the left hook can slide off. It's creating extra friction. That's my one issue.
Okay.
But I have to say on the positive side, Jason Jones has got a lot of heart. You know what I mean? As a coach, I think one of the reasons I'm going to go with Jason that I like as a coach.
Hold on. You're going with
I'm
Jason?
going to go with Jason. I got to bust him up.
Well, you
know what I mean?
can't. You can't switch your pick on me because
No, I haven't picked yet. That's the thing. I haven't picked yet. So I'm going.
I have it right here
No,
on my phone.
all right. I'm going with Jason. Okay. All right. So, all right. No, really. All right. I picked Farag.
When we were picking, you want to mess with-
I picked Farag.
Bro,
I
you
want to
gotta
mess with
stand
him.
on business.
All
You
right,
can't
stand on
do-
business. I
okay.
picked Farag. Okay, but I want to end on a positive of what I like about Jason as a coach. Every time I've seen Jason fight, he looks like he wants to be in there. He looks like he's having a good time. He looks like he's happy to be in there.
100%.
And as a coach, that's a huge quality you look for in a fighter that has all the potential in the world. Jason Jones looks like he's having a good time in there, and he looks like he wants to be in there. And so many people that go in and they're stiff and they lock up, and he's just a really entertaining guy to watch. Only thing I'd change about his game, I'd like to see him keep his hands up a little higher. That's the Muay Thai coach in me. But I think he's got a great attitude towards the fight game, and I think if he just sticks with it, he's going to go all the way.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel the same way.
Yeah, I agree with the hands up part.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I've been working on things and tailoring mistakes, just being more strict.
I feel like something about you too, though. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know. But when you are in there, I think you do see that he wants to be in there. He wants to fight. I don't think you ever get like, how do I want to say it? Like, you're kind of a showman at the same time. Do you feel you're a showman too, a little bit? Like you want to make it exciting. You want to be animated. I feel like I see that from you. Do you ever think that's a downfall to say or anything, or no? But you do, like, you're an exciting fighter. Like, it's fun to watch you, not just the way you fight, but, you'll say stuff while you're fighting. You're just making these hand motions, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just
there?
going out there and fighting. And usually you go out there and fight and then it's over. It's like this, So for me, I'm not really thinking about being a showman. It's just probably who I am, I feel like I've always been like that, so.
Yeah. Well, no, it's definitely fun and entertaining. All right. Okay, well, so hold on. I just want to clear it. Are you picking Jason or are you picking Farag? Because on my phone here, when we talked about 30 minutes ago, you chose Farag.
I mean, Jason, don't listen to him.
No, I told him. I told him it'd be a funny bit, but we know you're going with Jason.
I'm going with Jason all day. So I'm going to go with Jason all day. I think comeback fight. I think keep his hands up. I also think that
Should we talk a little bit about the after party or no? Are we not talking on camera about that?
he's not coming. He's in a loyal, committed relationship. He's not invited. You and me can talk about the party afterwards. But I'd also like to see Jason just, I think I've seen some highlights of Jason, and I think he's fast. And I think you need to trust yourself a little more. And I'd like to see Jason bring the pressure. I'd like to see Jason bring the pain and bring the pressure because I think he's faster than even he realizes. So that's just my coach mindset there, But,
Hawks, the Hawks coming out on May 9th.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Mejalee, you're choosing Jason Jones too.
Yeah.
Of course.
Don't believe this picture.
Hold on, what's a chud for people that don't know?
So there's a popular streamer right now. His name is Clavicular, and I've been following his protocols. Licks maxing. I've been bone mashing my face every morning. I've been eating a lot of bananas to flush my face out. Because when I took this picture, I didn't expect that they would use it for years to come. Wow. So I have some very more polished pictures post that. I don't even think I slept the night before. I work overnight, so I think I was just like no sleep. No sleep.
Well,
Look at it.
I want to apologize that,
Nah, I mean, it's cool.
UNF has used your picture, the same picture, for the last 2 years. We're having internal talks about fixing that, and your next fight, it will be a different picture.
Nothing ChatGPT can't fix, so we're good.
Yeah, we all agree. Jason the Sparrow, the Hawk, we're locked in.
All right, John, we might get you back on here for another fight or two since you are our guest. And no, well, maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see. All right, Mejalee, let's get you back in here. So this next one, I'm excited for Hamzeh Trav versus Shane Torres. Shane Torres coming off a loss, but to Miguel and Artunian in a very close, controversial fight. I think a lot of people thought Torres actually won that fight. Hamzeh Chad, well decorated. Throwing some?
I think I have one in my pocket. Yeah.
Well decorated kickboxer, amateur fighter. Pro career has been off to a little rocky start, but I mean, they're both coming in to make a statement. I think it's a really good, high level fight. Jason, what do you think about? I'll ask you, how do you think Hamzeh wins this fight?
I think Hamzeh wins by pace. I think I saw the fight with Shane Torres.
Shane Torres versus Migren, yeah.
Yeah, so I watched that fight, and that was a back and forth grappling battle. But if you watch Hamzeh's fights and where he's done the best is mixing in his striking with his takedowns. He fought at Fighters Rep a ton of times, in other kickboxing promotions, and he's fought at Up Next, many times.
Yeah.
And I think when he puts that pace on, but I think tailoring his pace to a professional fight, I think that's like the only thing that I would fix. Because even a 3-3 is so much different than 3-5s. Because the pace of a pro fight is way different than those amateur fights. So I think in many of his fights, like he kind of just come in and blitz past. And then like his last fight with Roman Puga, I don't think that was necessarily the best matchup. Maybe he's just hungry to get in there. But Roman Puga's on a tear. Roman Puga has got some legit...
Got some hands.
Some legit hands, like some crazy good hands. So, as long as he can just have confidence in himself. A lot of really good fighters started off with rough records, like Ethan Ewing, who's making a statement in the UFC, JDM, and there's a couple other that I'm forgetting that started off
for sure
0-2, 1-2. So I think just trusting what he's been able to show in his amateur career and leading that into his pro career.
100%. You're familiar with Hamzeh too, yeah?
Yeah, I've watched him fight MMA. I've watched him fight kickboxing. I've watched him win multiple belts. I'm a fan of this dude. I don't know much about Shane Torres. I know he's tough. I did watch his last fight, but Hamzeh, I've just seen him develop over the years. I've watched even his younger brother start fighting. So it's kind of cool when I see other people at kickboxing. Then you see him MMA. You see him doing jiu-jitsu. You see him all over. I think he's one of the more active fighters. So I'm really excited to see him fight. I think if he plays into his game, there's nothing that can stop him. So I think I'm gonna go with Hamzeh on this one, man. I think it's gonna be a tough fight, but I think he has a crazy skill set. I really like. I like watching him fight. I like his striking. So.
One thing I love about this fight is I feel like both guys have something to prove and are gonna be extremely motivated. I feel like sometimes, fights get made, people fight, but like Shane Torres last fight, he really thought he won. He wanted to get back in there, and then Hamzeh, I think right now is just one of the guys with the brightest futures, but hasn't been going his way. So he really, it's like do or die for Hamzeh to say, or his back's against the wall, and his best product's gonna come out. So I'm very excited for that one. So you guys are both going Hamzeh?
I'm going Hamzeh on this one, man.
Let me guess if John chose the Muay Thai guy. Let me just guess real quick. Yeah, John chose Hamzeh Chad.
His skill set, man. He has a good skill set.
All right, well, there's a bunch of other great fights on the card, but this is the last fight we're gonna go in depth about. Christian Dighero versus Carlos Elizarraraz. Christian Dighero, another great amateur career, making his pro debut versus Carlos Elizarraraz, who has about like 16 pro fights. Yeah. That's kind of something to talk about in its own right, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because like if you look at Elizarraraz, that's who. That's it, right? Elizarraraz. Elizarraraz. Me no hablo.
Jason,
he fought David Rojas for David Rojas's pro debut, and I think that experience showed. And again, what I'm talking about with the amateur pace. David Rojas, I feel like went out there in bliss, and I think he weathered the storm, and then he came out on top. I think Elizarraraz, I think his record is maybe topsy-turvy, but I think he's like fought a lot of tough guys, and I'm sure he's gained like a lot of really good experience from that.
Yeah.
And he's from Rounders?
Yeah, right? He's from Rounders.
Yeah, so that's a good gym, and they have a lot of good guys out of there, so. And Dighero's from Black House. But I feel like Dighero's had a good amateur career too, and I feel like the way that he fights is, I don't want to say safe, but he's like
fight smart.
He's gonna fight smart.
He's
you know what I mean?
So
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Mejalee, you're also someone who is very calculated, technical, and fights smart. Do you draw other fighters that kind of have that similar mindset or try to fight that
I like it. I mean, at the end of the day, we want to put on a great show and stuff, but I want to be able to come back in a couple months and fight, right? And if you're getting your brain smashed in, you're probably not going to be able to do that. So I think it's that perfect balance between, being safe, being smart, but also being really exciting. And I think that's something, that he does. As far as the experience, though, I just want to point out again, like, man, this is one of those fights where you can't just look at records. You can't look at a losing record and think that this guy, oh, it's going to be easy or it's going to be a walkover. Because, David Ross is really good. Really, really good. He's a UNF champ, right? He was a champ as well.
Ross was an amateur champ, yeah.
Dude, he's one of the guys that I watched. I'm like, man, he's really good. He fought my teammate. So for him to be able to beat him, that shows, the level that he's on as well, regardless of record. So I'm excited for this fight, but I got to go with my man. If this is his debut, I think he had a fire, lit under him.
Okay, well, this pick means a lot, boys. So who are you choosing? Okay, so it looks like, what the fuck what is that?
It's a dollar bill for Dighero.
Okay. I didn't know what you were drawing this time. Okay.
Dighero.
So you guys are both going with Christian Dighero. Our professional sports analyst chose Carlos Elizarraraz, but that doesn't mean anything because you guys...
Sorry, Christian, but I was just drawing your nickname. I've accidentally picked Elizarraraz. So.
Yeah, I don't know if we could do that, you know. So, Mejalee.
Oh, man. That's what I'm talking about.
You won. Maybe you could cut a deal with him, get like $20 out of that or something.
I didn't need it anyways. I didn't need it at all.
I'm going to buy a Jason Jones Suck shirt, so go ahead and purchase
That's a good use
one.
of the money right there.
Heck yeah.
You buy like 4, maybe 5.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, any other message for everyone else watching? I mean, why they should come watch you guys fight, what they can expect?
Go ahead, bro.
Just pull up. I feel like the experience in itself is worth it. And, right now, you see all the reels, people are playing rain bet. Why don't you just go gamble in real life? You could gamble on the floor and watch the fights at the same time. You could play blackjack, you could play poker, you could hit the slots.
I don't think there's slots.
There's slots in the casino,
Yeah.
but you could just watch my fight. There might be a snoozer after. We'll walk out, go hit some slots real quick, maybe win, maybe lose it all, and then come back. And then we'll play Bachelor after my fight.
Yeah, I promise if you guys have never been to, an MMA show or you've never watched live fights, UNF 33 is definitely where you guys want to be. May 9th, we have a ton of good, good fighters. It's going to be, back and forth all night. So if you've never been to a live show, like this is the one that you want to come to, right? Let's kick off the summer right. You guys need to show up. Please come watch me fight. I promise it'll be worth your time. I just need 9 minutes. That's it. I just need 9 minutes. Just come watch me. 9 minutes.
I can't wait. Well, I appreciate you guys. We're not ending the podcast here, though. We're getting John and Jamie on here real quick.
Heck yeah.
If you guys want to come on. John, Jamie. Well, John, welcome back for the third time on this episode.
Sorry.
Jamie, what's going on, brother? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man.
Thanks for having us here today. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother. My pleasure.
Well, you give the intro for Jamie. You guys are friends. You know him way better than I do. Talk to us about Jamie.
So Jamie Lange, he's the general manager of Sunrise Ford. I worked for Jamie for almost 10 years. What I really liked about Jamie is just when he was my boss at the time, everything.
Sorry, how'd you deal with this guy for 10 years? I mean, I've known him for like a year, and he's actually the best kind of guy ever. But
A lot of alcohol.
But what I loved about Jamie, just as a man and a boss, is if Jamie told you he was going to do something, he was going to do it. And I always appreciated that about him. And that's something as a man I really gravitate towards. So if Jamie gives you his word, he's going to keep it. And just a good overall dude.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Jamie, Sunrise Ford sponsors Mejalee. He's fighting for the belt. He was just on the podcast. What do you see in Mejalee that, impresses you, right? To get behind him, help him out, and kind of push him, and help him further his career?
Good question. When I first met Mejalee, John was talking about him. I wanted to meet him in person, kind of get a good feel for him before I just, threw money and sponsored. I've had some bad experiences sponsoring some pro athletes. We won't talk about who they are, but they may or may not.
Give us a team.
They may or may not be in the MLB on the Dodgers and Angels. You never know. But I like Mejalee right away. He was real, and I'm all about being real. And he's always there. He's helped promoting us. And I like to do stuff. I like to promote somebody that's going to be a good influence, right, for the kids and coming up. I always like to get back to the kids and to our area, to the local community, right? And Mejalee does that. A lot of people see he's a great fighter, but he's very intelligent. You talk to him, he's very intelligent. He's working on his law degree, very intelligent. And I told him he keeps going the way he is. The next truck he's going to be getting is going to be a Ranger Raptor.
Ranger Raptor?
Yeah.
Mejalee, that'd be sick, bro.
I'm gonna need to borrow
He's
that truck.
got to win though.
Yeah.
Does
Now-
he have to win?
whoa,
He has to
whoa,
win.
whoa.
The stakes are high.
That's what I need.
Jamie, did you say if he doesn't win, he's getting a Fiesta?
We'll find one out of the boneyard.
You'll
for
get a
him.
boneyard. It's gonna be a '93 Fiesta.
That's awesome. Well, I think you kind of hit on it. Well, why you're getting behind Mejalee and supporting and being like that. But what about just athletes on the come up or athletes that are, and you guys can both answer this, like, what should athletes be doing to get people to support them and sponsor them? What can athletes be doing to get, to be doing that?
They need good advocates. I would say like John. Somebody that knows a business. Like a lot of people forget the automotive industry. It's very large, and we have a lot of connections.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to go for these big brands, maybe like Nike or Adidas, things like that. But you got to start small and build, right?
Yep. I think too, and be willing to give back to your sponsor. I look at it too, whether it be Sunrise Ford or Up Next. In a way, I look at it as like Up Next sponsors us. You know what I mean? You guys put on a platform, we can come fight, do all this amazing media. We just got to show up,
Yeah.
So I think too, Jamie's willingness to, hook Mejalee up with a vehicle, I think for young fighters it's
awesome.
You got to put the reciprocal effort back. It's the same with like a coach-fighter relationship. Your fighter's got to show up on time and willing to put in the work and be consistent. And I think as a fighter for your sponsor, you got to put in the work, be consistent. At the end of the day, it's there's a bit of a quid pro quo there. So be willing to try to help your sponsor further their business and in a genuine manner. I think really is important for a young fighter. You don't need to go to Jamie's point, you need to go for the biggest sponsorship. Find people that believe in you and are willing to back you. I think is.
I think athletes need to understand too. You got to make it a win-win situation. I think we've talked about this even from promoter to athlete. Us talking, but if it's not mutually beneficial, what's the who wants to do business like that, right? So I think for athletes, if people are sponsoring you, make sure you go above and beyond, right? Like it shouldn't just be, you're gonna put your logo on my shorts. Add some extra Instagram tags. Go above and beyond for someone because that way they're gonna want to work with you more.
Absolutely. Like one thing I liked about Mejalee, like I didn't tell him to do this. Like, he actually spent money out of his own pocket to brand himself with Sunrise Ford. He's reaching out to me. Him and Jamie are getting to know each other. What can I do for Jamie? What can I, coach and he has a vested interest in giving back to his sponsor. And then I think the social media thing, I've really watched what Jamie and Ford has done. When Jamie took over Sunrise Ford, and I'd like you to comment on just your experience with fighters and social media and how they can, bring that to their sponsor. I think is really important.
Yeah, I think they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but I disagree with that. I knew social media was very important, but I didn't realize how important it was until I really dived deep into it, probably in the last 8 months. Myself and then Sunrise Ford, and I make it a requirement for all my employees to get very involved in the social media.
Smart.
Just off the last 8 months, we've sold over 144 cars off social media. So the social media presence is very strong, right?
Yeah.
And my message to any fighter or athlete out there that's growing, trying to find a sponsor, is you got to be active on social media every day because people forget things so quickly.
100%.
Something negative in the press happens, everyone makes a big deal, and then 2 days later, everyone forgets about it. So if you're not posting every day and you're not remembering your sponsor every day, people forget.
Yep.
I feel like those are some gems from you guys, honestly. I think athletes too need, even myself on my personal, UNF were but I gotta step up my game on social media, just my personal life, posting all that stuff, which isn't easy to do, but I think you gotta get out of your comfort zone and just fucking do it.
It is. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think especially if it doesn't come naturally to you. If it doesn't come naturally to you, but me.
Well, we see you on your Instagram story with your shirt off and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to do what I can do here.
All right, well, since Jamie's on here, and can we talk about the after party now? What's gonna be going down there? Or no?
I got a kind of a little penthouse suite in downtown LA, and when Mejalee wins, want to have him over, and I'll tell you what, we really, just out of respect too, I would even be willing to, assuming everybody's hospitable, even Rawston's team's willing to come over too. And I think, I come from the Thai culture is, when we're in there, we're trying to murder each other. And as soon as that thing ends, let's be professionals and be gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
100%.
yeah, Jamie, of course. And, Jamie's always welcome. He's the first one in. So, yeah.
Yeah. Jamie, I have one last question for you. You obviously, you're killing it with Sunrise Ford. It probably took a lot of hard work to get to where you are today. What do you think is similar, or in the sense, what advice would you give to athletes on the come up, grinding, trying to build their career? What's a gem or some knowledge you want to share with them?
I would say just grinding. Never give up. I'm a firm believer. If you speak something out of your mouth, your brain's gonna believe it. If you want something, you got to speak it out loud. If you don't, you hold it in. You don't let everyone around you know what you want. You're never gonna get it. People say, everything you say is coming true. It's because I'm not trying to convince myself. I'm saying out loud so I can understand that that's my goal, and I won't stop until I get it. And I think at the end of the day, if you're that determined, you got to let everybody know what your goal is, because there's people around you that'll help you get to your goal.
Yeah.
Love that.
I think just being around Jamie, to piggyback on that, I worked with Jamie for close to 10 years, and nothing was handed to Jamie. When we worked here together, this dude was here till 10, 11 o'clock with me. He was always, always here, always on time. He was my boss, and he was a good leader, and he worked for it. Now he's the general manager, of the store, and very high ranking, and I've witnessed it firsthand, for Jamie's journey, what hard work can do. And I think fighters is just, don't quit, and hard work, really. It sounds cliche, but that's really the recipe.
Oh, yeah.
So.
All right, well, May 9th. Oh.
Any stories that Jamie can share about the bachelor party that John threw for him?
Wait, hold on. John, you threw his bachelor party?
So,
do we want to get?
Do you want to get into
YouTube
that?
might take the video down if we get too in depth.
Yeah. It's just that. Let's rank it on a 1 to 10. Let's go over there. Keep it simple on a 1 to 10.
I'll ask a question.
All right, sorry.
You start first. No, give me just the overview of it.
I mean, Jamie made me sign an NDA at the end of the bachelor party, so I feel like I'm violating the NDA. But let's just
How many
say,
years has it been? Don't NDAs expire after a certain time?
let's just say Jamie handed me a very
large
generous budget and said, make it happen. And when somebody gives me a job to do, I'm sure as fuck going to do my job.
I'll tell you this, let's sum it up in one quick phrase. If John somehow retires out of the fighting industry, he could easily be the best event coordinator ever. He'll throw you the best,
Wait, hold on.
most
Where was it?
memorable.
Where was it?
As in, was it Palm Desert?
Palm Desert, yeah.
Okay,
It was a pretty big mansion.
Okay.
It was like a U-shaped with a pool in the middle.
Right.
Well, let's go budget. Let's just tell me higher or lower. We'll just start at a number.
I had a 5-figure budget. So it was, we had a nice little mansion. We had a nice little, we had some friends come by. It was on PGOS golf course. And, I really tried to take into account what Jamie likes. And it was a very, very exciting
You guys just seem like a good time, man. I would love to invite you guys on my bachelor. And,
We're like the CIA, Ryan. You're probably, there's only so much we're going to disclose about this bachelor party. And,
I know, but that's why, you can make me sign an NDA. We go.
Yeah,
we can just recreate it for my bachelor.
John had it dialed in when the rule was when people walked in, they had to check in their cell phones in a basket, no cell phone.
Actually, sounds like a good time, though. That's how you know you're having a good time.
Join us at the after party. No cell phones.
I'll leave my cell phone at home. No worries.
We have a motto. What happens in the Lane Gaglio parties, stay at the Lane
Yes,
Gaglio
they're
parties.
legendary.
All right, so that's it. We're not sharing any more about the bachelor party. It's okay. I mean,
Nobody ended up pregnant.
that's a good news.
That's a good,
That's really
nobody
That we
ended up-
know of.
That we know of. Nobody ended up pregnant.
Anyone end up in the hospital? Not that I went in the hospital. Anyone go to the hospital?
Yeah, I mean, I'll share the
crazy.
I'll share the
During
friendly
COVID
stuff
times too, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
it
had.
was
I mean, we had private chef. We had, poker night. I mean, some,
Private strippers.
very big,
Oh, there we
very
go.
honorable young women came by. I mean, it was a really good party.
You know what?
It was a really good.
Sounds like a good time. I'm sure you guys had a blast.
I don't rat. I don't rat.
No, I know.
I can only say it goes so
Integrity's
far.
up here, you know?
Yeah, I was like, oh, no. In fact, I wasn't even at that bachelor party. Now
That's
that I think
right.
about
I
it.
heard you were at a
I wasn't even
somewhere
at that
else.
bachelor.
No, yeah, you were just coordinating.
I just
and,
coordinated.
you
I didn't.
FaceTimed into
I wasn't
it.
actually there. I didn't see.
It
nothing.
felt like you were there.
Yeah,
That's great.
I didn't see much of nothing.
Yeah.
That's funny. It seems like you guys have your history, but Jamie, again, thanks for having us here today. We really
my
appreciate it,
pleasure.
brother.
Awesome.
John, as always,
you.
our special analyst today.
Yes.
Knows all. You know so much about fighting. You're a gem, honestly.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Well, anyways, May 9th, UNF 33, Rawston and Reddick versus Mejalee. Your boy's going for his second title. Jason Jones
Third title.
with UNF. We're not counting.
Oh,
counting
okay,
others.
okay,
So
okay.
with UNF, but third title. That's fair. Jason Jones making his return and a bunch of other great fights. So if you guys want to come, tickets out now. Let's go.
This episode of the Fight Family Podcast is brought to you by Sunrise Ford.